Everyone, it's Yvonne here to do your What's Cracking reading. Okay, as I always do, thank you so much for your support, your love, and for watching my videos. Um, what can I say? It's been really nice to see some new people on board, so welcome. And for those of you who've supported me for the last 5 years, 6 years, maybe going to 6 years actually this year, thank you for all of your support. If you want to join or have a membership, everything is in the box below the video, but you would have to go onto the main YouTube channel to get to those buttons. You can't access them via the apps, as I understand. Sorry, I'm fresh from Pilates. I've just thrown some other clothes on just for a moment until I get a chance to get myself completely organized, because I knew I didn't do the readings on Friday and I wanted to sort of catch up. So today will be the reading for Scorpio. Where am I? What am I up to? I'm going to only do readings Monday to Thursday. I'm going to skip Fridays for the time being till I catch up on my uni assignments. So I think 5 assignments due till next Friday. Okay. Is there anything else? My website's up and running now. If you would like a reading with me, it's www.theaussiegoddess.com. And, you know, some people find it hard to find the readings. They're all under the shop function. Please go and have a look and see what I offer. Once you press on what you want, or you decide what you want and you press on it, then it will take you through the process of booking and paying for the reading. I think it's quite a simple process, but it does confuse people when they get on there. So if you do have any difficulty, of course, I always say you can text me, ring me, call me, email me, and I will give you a bit of an understanding of it. All right, is there anything else, Yvonne? So we're using the Wild Unknown Tarot here, and I'll be pulling an oracle card from the Wisdom of the Oracle. So let's get stuck in. I think we've shuffled them plenty. All right, nice. So we're starting out with the Star. So the Star card, for me especially, sort of talks about destiny, but it is a card of healing, and it is a card of wishes coming true. So the way I sort of feel this energy for the Star is that you've probably come through a fairly heavy time or a difficult time, and things start to look up, and it's sort of, you know, getting to a place, I feel, with the energy where it's feeling very calm and very at peace and at home with yourself. So nice energy. Okay, so we have the Son of Swords coming through, the Prince of Swords with the Ten of Cups. Really nice energy here. We do have the Six of Swords coming through there, and the Father of Wands with the Death card. Interesting. And the Judgment card. There is something that you need to complete. There is something you need to let go of. You're still holding on to something here. And I feel like it could be a person with that King of Wands there. It could be a relationship that you've had, but you're clinging very tightly, and I can feel the need for control. So it's almost like you're finding it really difficult to let go of something. But I feel like the answers are coming, and I feel like you're sort of with that Star right on the verge of understanding. You know, there is no control. You know, the more we try to control, the more difficult it becomes to sort of lead our lives. So it is about letting go. It is about going with the flow. But for some of you, this may not be, it may be a passion project. It may be some sort of work situation, but whatever it is, it's like you finally are making a decision to let something go. And I feel like with that Six of Swords, you've learned a lot from this, but it's time to move forward. And I think you've realized that with the Star there. All right, let's have a look. So we have the Emperor coming through. For some of you, this could be a person. I do have the Five of Pentacles. Yeah, definitely. So we have Aries and Leo energy, and it was very strong on that King of Wands energy. There's a new beginning, but I don't feel, if it's a relationship that you're letting go of, I don't feel like it's a new beginning in the relationship, but I feel like you've done a lot of healing, and it may be a very new beginning for you. So it's like you're stepping into your own power here. If it is a person, because I do have the Emperor and the King of Pentacles, it makes me feel like whatever you're letting go of here wouldn't have been a casual acquaintance, not at all. It very much feels like it could have been a partnership, maybe even a husband or but a full-on relationship. But there is definitely a new beginning here. I feel like that Strength card has really nice energy today. It's almost like I always say to people, you never finish healing. Like you start off, you start to understand, your inner child stuff. You start to work through, all of those things you've carried around for a while. And then as you start to heal from that, it's almost like you move into a new stage where you start to heal a whole lot of new things. And I know from my experiences, everybody's on a different path. But overall, in the collective, a lot of people becoming more aware, understanding how to observe. And this lion energy here makes me feel like there's an energy of resolution. Like it's like, okay, I've done that. I feel really, really good and I'm ready to move to the next stage. And I feel like you haven't yet moved to the next stage, but you might be resolving the last one. But it is about you letting go. It is about you understanding how to let go of control and live them every moment. Thanks, Eckhart Tolle. Every moment as you go. Yeah, sometimes people say to me, especially with mindfulness, how do you learn, how do you learn how to live in the moment? How do you know what that means? And as I said, The Power of Now is a really good book to read especially if you've had a very traumatic childhood, hard upbringing. It really teaches you how to balance your masculine, feminine energy, but what it teaches you is how to live in the moment. And if I were to put it into really clear understanding for people, once you learn to live in the moment, you're not thinking back at the past and you're not worrying about the future. It's almost like you're comfortable being where you are. What does that mean? When you're sitting in a chair like I am now, you can feel your bottom on the chair, you can feel the energy around you, you can hear all the noises, and you're really focused on what you're doing. When you tend to sort of go forward or backward, past or to the future, your mind goes there, but your body becomes ungrounded and it sort of goes with you to a certain degree. So you don't stay grounded. So mindfulness is a really good practice to undertake, and it only takes a couple of minutes a day. All right, so we have the Princess of Cups coming through, the Two of Cups right bang in the middle, and the Lover's card. I feel like maybe Six of Cups. I feel like for some of you, this is letting go of the past. The Eight of Swords. Was it causing you much anxiety? Because you're now really investing in yourself. I want to say for some of you, this may be letting go of anger of the past, especially with this sort of victim energy coming through here. Sometimes when we hang on to things that have happened to us in the past, well, we can't change them. They're done and dusted. But what we can do is we can still hang on to the emotions of when we were there, and that can be quite, it's PTSD, I guess, but it's quite emotionally disturbing, because when you start to think back at some of the trauma you've undergone, you immediately go into the emotions or the anger or whatever it was that took you there. And you can do that in the present, and it can be quite distressing. Oh my goodness, water, please. And for many people, a traumatic upbringing or, childhood issues can often sort of leave you with this, what we call emotional dysregulation. And to explain that briefly, sometimes it can mean you overreact to things. Like you might find that the simplest things send you on a spiral and you'll get really agitated, aggravated, angry. And that's all the stuff still coming to the surface for you. So it is a really good idea to understand what emotional dysregulation is. But when I see the Eight of Swords, because it's a card that talks about, being trapped in your own thinking, being trapped in who you think you are, if you're still going through that, then probably some more healing is required. But for me, I feel like for some of you, this is definitely letting go of some sort of relationship. It might not be a relationship you're in. It might still be the memory of an old relationship that is still emotionally affecting you, um, or making you angry. Remember, when we sort of walk away from relationships or we leave relationships, we still go through grievance. So it's like a mini death, which is what we had with that sort of Scorpio energy, the death card. But I feel like here that no matter what, it's like now you're investing in yourself. The universe is ready to move you forward. So to me, it makes me feel, especially with that star card, that you're right on the borderline of moving into something new. You may have found that you've manifested or prayed or whatever it is for what you want, and finally things are starting to come together. But I feel with the star card, you've probably been through some healing. I see you doing a lot of work here. The Ten of Cups is here, which is always a beautiful card. I feel like with that Six of Swords, you may be moving away from somebody. And because I have Aries, Leo in the reading, it could be Sagittarius as well. But it could be that you're moving away from an old version of yourself too, I want to say. It's almost like you're leaving something behind. There's some sort of, we talk about, death. Actually, it's beautiful those two cards have come together. We talk about death and rebirth. So this is the process that you seem to be going through at the moment. But I do have the Seven of Wands coming after that. So I would say to you, if you're feeling like you're just getting to the edge of this, 11:15 on the clock, a really good idea to sort of keep persevering with it. Don't stop, because you're doing an incredibly good job. And I feel like here, it's like the universe is really, it's almost like you're fitting nicely in your skin. So if you haven't quite achieved that yet, you're on the verge of doing so. All right, let's have a look at the wisdom of the oracle. Ooh. Oh, you wouldn't believe it. I pulled out two cards last week and they sort of fitted really nicely together. Sometimes I'm pushing time and I think I'll just do one card. But you have two cards coming out again. One is exchanging gifts and one is building blocks. Now, going through my own intuition here, I would say to you that you're exchanging gifts with the universe now, and it's a 27 card and the other cards are 28, which is quite interesting, which means you're progressing. These cards have been used a lot, so there's no way in the world they could just coincidentally come out together. But we'll have a read of them anyway. So 27 is the law of giving and receiving, currency trade-offs, weighing costs and determining value. So for me, this is very much Six of Pentacles energy. And I feel like when you get it, if you're not in a relationship, it very often means that you're getting to a point with the universe where you're manifesting, or your prayers are bringing back to you what you want. So it says you're entering into a productive and enriching time when all manner of opportunities are being offered to you. You have everything you need to seize them. Yet in order to honour them, you must put in the time, exchange your experience and skills, and commit heart and soul to what you are choosing to pursue. You can do it. You have what it takes to be successful if you align with the law of giving and receiving. So this is not a time to use your currency wisely and be mindful of what others bring to your life. But the other card after this is building blocks. And I feel like here, because it's card 28, it's sort of like, strong foundations. So when we look at like the energy of the death card, that Scorpio card, and then the resurrection, the judgment card, it means we're rebuilding something. Because what we've built on before has been built on a faulty foundation. And sometimes that faulty foundation can be something, much smaller, some sort of little timeline you have when you've put energy into something, it hasn't worked out, and then we have to rethink what we're doing. And that is the sort of energy of judgment. But I feel like here, this is much bigger what you're building. This sort of feels to me like you're really starting to understand how to build a better version of yourself. So I'm just going to have a look a little bit more at that. Yeah, you have everything you need to cultivate an extraordinary life. This is a time when your focus needs to be on the foundations you build, because if you haven't built strong foundations in the past, then you're going to find it very, very difficult to build new foundations. What do I mean by that? All right, so if you've built something, say you've got a relationship with somebody, and perhaps you don't feel like you can trust them, but you still keep going with the relationship. And then one day something happens, you realize that you can't trust them, and then all of a sudden you've got to wipe that all out. You may start again. You might get rid of that relationship and start all over again. But your foundation will be different this time, because this time around, with somebody new, you'll be watching for those foundations. You'll be making sure that you can trust someone, or how you can trust someone, or even understanding how to trust yourself, which is a much bigger deal. So it says your work, your relationships, and your very being are being underwritten by your values, ethics, morals, and core beliefs. Will they still be true for you? So maybe this time around you'll be doing things differently. Maybe this time around you're understanding how to put yourself at the center of things. Maybe this time around you're learning not to control, or not to try and control. All control does is mess up your system. It just doesn't work. And some people are just so intent on controlling everything in their lives, they just don't experience anything. Because if you're controlling everything, you're always in your head. So let go, trust the universe, live each day a little bit at a time, and really understand how to do mindfulness. It will keep you in the moment, which is so good, because you can let go of your past and not worry so much about what's happening in the future. I'll leave you with that. Thank you.